the engines roar and the drama unfolds in one of Formula One's most unforgettable seasons. 2001, the year legends were born. Four rookie drivers took on the world stage, and in this race, we step into the shoes of Spain's future world champion, Fernando Alonso, as he gears up with Minardi for his debut in Brazil. Let's take a look on settings. High assistance, breakable car as invulnerability is set off with real damage, 95% AI driver strength and 100% willing to overtake. Rules for race, flag rules on, 2x fuel and tire usage as race will be twice shorter. Joining the grid, flying Finn Kimi Räikkönen with Sauber whose ice-cool style would soon shake the sport. Colombia's own Juan Pablo Montoya unleashing raw pace for Williams after ruling the American tracks, and Brazil's Enrique Bernoldi bringing home pride with arrows. But it's not just the new kids. Today's Sao Paulo race pits us against reigning kings. Michael Schumacher, Jacques Villeneuve, and Mika Häkkinen, who is wrapping up his final season, make the chase that much hotter.
Minardi. Originating in Faenza, Italy, the PSO1 uses Ford Z-Tech power and Michelin tires.
17 rounds await in this epic 55th FIA Formula One World Championship, but right now, buckle up for the Brazilian Grand Prix where rain, rivalry, and rookie nerves set the stage for high-speed action. Let's hit the track, relieve those electric highlights, and race wheel-to-wheel.
Located within the southern suburbs of Sao Paulo, the bumpy Interlagos circuit consists of two very distinct sections. The first outer section combines two very long straights with fast-sweeping turns, whilst the technical infield contains some very slow corners that demand absolute precision and leave no room for driver error.
As it is raining, let's move to next session and do some vehicle setup without changing a lot. Let's tune up engine revs and that's all.
Minutes left of the session. is going out.
It is time for us to go out as well. practice is done, we've locked in 13th place on the timesheets. Now, it's time to crank up the intensity and head straight into qualifying, where every lap counts and the battle for the best grid spot gets fierce. In the 2001 Formula One season, qualifying was a high-stakes, one-hour showdown held on Saturday afternoon. Each driver had exactly 12 laps to play with during that hour, including out laps and in laps, so careful strategy was key. There were no penalties for impeding rivals, making it crucial to pick the perfect moment for a clear track and go for a flying lap. Every decision mattered. Drivers had to maximize their pace to secure the best possible grid position against the clock and their competition.
Juan Pablo Montoya has just set the fastest time for the first sector. You're down at the first sector. Has just set the fastest time for the second sector. You're down at the second sector. Juan Pablo Montoya has just taken pole position. Juan Pablo Montoya has just set the fastest time for the first sector. You failed to improve your position. You are now second. Luciano Berti is entering the pit. He's now completed 3 laps.
We went out with lot of fuel, so let's adjust fuel for 4 to 5 laps and let's try to improve time.
Kimi Räikkönen is going out. Juan Pablo Montoya has... down at the first sector. Räikkönen is now in pole position. Alesi is entering the pit. He's now
Improved my time, but that mistake at Desida do Lago did not help, so push.
Räikkönen is entering the pit. He's now completed 3 laps. You're down at the first sector. Irvine is going out. Michael Schumacher has just set the fastest time for the first sector. You're down at the second sector. Schumacher has just taken pole position. Pedro de la Rosa is going out. Michael Schumacher has just set the fastest time for the first sector. Rubens Barrichello is entering the pits. He's now completed 3 laps. You're down at the first sector.
Run out of fuel, actually by escaping game can return in pits and continue qualification.
Riding with Michael Schumacher. Riding with Villeneuve. Riding with Jos Verstapen. Räikkönen is going out. Kimi Räikkönen has moved up to second. You're down at the second sector.
With the grid set in Michael Schumacher on pole, Räikkönen second, Montoya third, Cole third fourth, and Alonso starting in 13th, it's race time in Sao Paulo and the skies have turned unpredictable. The rain is falling, and while the rest of the grid commits to full wet tires, we're rolling the dice on intermediates, hoping for a break in the weather. This tire gamble is risky, but in Brazil's wild conditions, fortune often favors the bold. If the rain eases soon, those intermediates could give Alonso a flying edge, but if the downpour continues, grip and control might prove a challenge. The stage is set for drama, chaos, and clever strategy as rain always shakes up the action at Interlagos. Let's see how the race unfolds. Anything can happen in these conditions.
Hello there. Welcome to Brazil. Well, it's rain all the way today. Things are going to be tough, to say the least, out there. Schumacher first. Räikkönen second. Juan Pablo Montoya third. David Coulthard fourth. Schumacher fifth. Kimi Räikkönen sixth. Barrichello seventh. Trulli eighth. Alesi ninth. Berti 10th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen 11th. Enrique Bernaldi 12th. The Minardi driver endured a lackluster qualifying session and faces a tough start in the midst of the chasing pack. He starts 13th. Irvine 14th. Jacques Villeneuve 15th. Olivier Panis 16th. Giancarlo Fisichella 17th. Jenson Button 18th. Verstappen 19th. Nick Heidfeld 20th. De La Rosa 21st. Marques was way off the pace of his teammate. He starts in 22nd.
While fighting through the wet and wild Interlagos circuit, a collision with a teammate when trying to lap him damages the front wing, but thankfully, the rear stays intact and the car is still drivable. The quick-thinking crew springs into action, straight into the pits, swift front wing change, a switch to full wet tires as the rain persists, and a refuel all in one stop.
Pit crew ready. Minardi, already in the pit. Has smoke coming from his engine. Fisichella is running 12, about 5 seconds ahead. You're running 13th. Panis is running 14th, about 15 seconds behind. Luciano Berti is out, he's blown the engine.
Teammate goes into pits as well, crashes in my back and retires from race.
Marques has retired in sector 1. Juan Pablo Montoya has been hit by Michael Schumacher. colliding with Schumacher.
At the end of an amazing Brazilian Grand Prix, here are the final results. Schumacher first. Coulthard second. Schumacher third. Barrichello fourth. Juan Pablo Montoya fifth. Räikkönen sixth. The Minardi driver seventh.
How real race happened. Michael Schumacher secured pole position, but starting from 5th place, McLaren driver David Coulthard won the 71-lap race. Ferrari's Michael Schumacher finished second with Sauber's Nick Heidfeld third. The race was interrupted after McLaren's Mika Häkkinen's engine stalled on the starting grid, prompting the safety car's deployment. When the safety car was withdrawn at the end of lap 2, Williams' Juan Pablo Montoya made now famous overtake against Schumacher for the lead. Montoya led the next 36 laps before he was hit by Arrow's Jos Verstapen on lap 39, forcing both drivers to retire from the race. As a result, Coulthard took the race lead and held it until the pit stops for wet weather tires, when the rain became heavier, and Schumacher took it for 2 laps until Coulthard passed him on lap 50. Coulthard led the rest of the race and won by 16.1 seconds over Schumacher, the only other driver on the lead lap.